The Real Housewives of Miami is muy caliente. Let's talk about it. Welcome back to number one Reality Junkie, where I take my reality TV junk and I just dump it right on you. Make sure you guys like this video and subscribe to this channel for more housewives content as well as pop culture content. And look, y'all, I have been watching Real Housewives of Miami's since the beginning. It fell off. It used to be on Bravo, then it took a hiatus, then it came back exclusively on Peacock. And so once it came back, I was like slow to get back into it. But then when I got back into it, it's been a complete wrap. And let me tell you, this season has not disappointed. It did start off a little bit slow, but it has now picked up, honey, and it is on fire. And today we are here to talk about Guerdy and Julia. Look, the truth of the matter is Julia was wrong for throwing water on Guerdy. Guerdy was wrong for blasting the text messages, to everyone at an event that, really should have been focused on other things. So they were both wrong. But what we do see is the difference in reaction from the ladies, the fellow housewives. The reaction to Julia was silence. The reaction to Guerdy was, I can't believe you did that. It's unacceptable. We're walking out of this event. It's a clear difference between how they feel about Julia and how they feel about Guerdy. And I just want to say, Guerdy, girl, they do not like you, girl. I feel like, Guerdy is in a place where she is, a new person. She's been through a very difficult situation having cancer, and she is a survivor, and she has a whole new outlook on life. And I don't think these girls are going to help with that new outlook on life that she has. She talked about the support from her husband, she talked about the support from her boys, but I don't think the girls were there and as supportive as they should be in a situation like that, where she talked about it on camera. She was open about it. She first went to Larsa. Larsa spilled all the beans to everybody before she even had a chance to. And so, I feel like from the very beginning, if it was someone else in that situation, the reaction from the girls would be a lot different. But it's obvious, blatantly obvious, that these girls do not like Guerdy. They don't like her. They don't like her. And it may be time for Guerdy to step out and do her own thing. I watched what happens live last night. She was on the show, on Andy Cohen's show, and she actually has a book coming out. And I was like, well, you know what? This might be the first taste of her actually stepping out on her own and doing her own thing, because I don't think that this show is going to serve her much longer. She doesn't have, any allies on the show. Even though it appears she doesn't have any housewife allies. There's friend of allies, but you need to have a housewife, main full-time housewife ally. And right now, Julia is not an ally. Alexia definitely isn't an ally. Larsa isn't an ally. Stephanie hasn't really gotten a chance to know her, but I will give Stephanie props for making an attempt to stay in the situation, to hear both sides. And as a new housewife, that's what I think you should do. Also, Lisa, Lisa is kind of an ally, but we all know Lisa is all about Lisa. Okay, let's just keep it a buck. So this episode from yesterday, that aired, and I watched it this morning on Peacock. I was just watching and just looking at the girls' reaction and just how the stark difference just really stands out. What do you guys think? Is it time for Guerdy to roll out? Obviously, she doesn't have the support that I feel she deserves. I wish they would have stepped up and been vocal when Julia threw water on her, in her face. In her face. That is like the ultimate disrespect to do that at an event. I just expected more, or a similar reaction, considering that seemed more jarring than releasing text messages, because they do it all the time. They don't do it in a public forum at an event, but they do that all the time. They do it on the show, they do it in confessionals. So the fact that the text messages were being released isn't the issue. It's the fact that, just be honest, y'all don't like Guerdy. I respect you guys more if you just say what it is and just move on. Anyway, what do y'all think? What y'all think about the episode number one? Are you even watching Real Housewives of Miami? I know you are, because they keep coming back season after season on Peacock. So I know you're watching, but what's your take on Guerdy versus Julia? Is one person more wrong than the other in this situation? Is Julia more wrong in this situation, or is Guerdy more wrong in the situation? Are they both to blame? I think they're both equal, but I want to hear what you have to say. And what is your take on the girls, how they react to Guerdy versus how they react to Julia? Let me know in the comment section below. And look, I just took my reality TV junk and I just dumped it right on you. Peace.